Samurai Cop. Now this is a dad movie. Samurai Cop is from 1991. It'll last just over an hour and 40 minutes. And it is cheap. It is nasty. It is a disaster. But it's good fun. Let's get into it. Now there's quite a lot of female nudity in this movie. So we won't speak about that too much. But we're just letting you know it's there a lot. Along with comments such as, she says to him, "Keep it up." He says to her, "Keep it warm." So this movie basically follows Joe, a cop who has been drafted in as a specialist because he's a samurai apparently.
Yeah, sure. Yes.
And this city needs a samurai to take down another samurai. There's actually a crime gang led by a samurai. And they need this samurai cop to take them down. That's a lot of samurai. It is a lot of samurai. Joe is paired up with Naruto. Not Murtaugh, they are kind of like Riggs and Murtaugh from Wish. But Joe's paired up with Frank. And Frank seems to be like acting on his own third half of this movie. There's a lot of close-ups of Frank just laughing or saying things, but it's clear no one else is on set. So Fujiyama is the crime boss. His gang are the Katana gang. And katana means Japanese sword. Well, it doesn't. No, they say that in this movie. So the movie begins with Fujiyama taking out some of his rival gangs. Yeah, and his henchman, his number one, is this guy called Yanashido. And he's like another white guy who's a samurai. This is Robert Zadar. Hey, Robert Zadar. I know that name. He was in Maniac Cop. Ah! Who's he? He was the Maniac Cop. Oh yeah. Stellar performances always. Anyway, the crime boss is taking out his rivals. Joe and Frank give chase. And Peggy's in the helicopter above. And she's making innuendos.
Okay, Joe. Keep it up.
Oh, it's up and ready. You just keep it warm.
It's warm and ready.
She's clearly not taken off the ground. You just see her in the cockpit. Yeah, there's no expense spent in this movie. Joe and Frank shoot all the bad guys almost. I mean, they're really bad shots. They are really bad shots, but they still manage to kill everyone. Except for one guy in a van. Yeah, this guy in the van, he crashes into a rock, and for some reason that makes his van explode, and he comes out and he's on fire. Back at Fujiyama's place, Yamashita tells Fujiyama this cop they brought in is a samurai. He's lived in Japan for years, and just like me, he's one of the greatest samurais of all time. And he says, "I shall bring you his head and place it on your piano."
I will bring you his head and I will place it on your piano.
I know the real samurai is here.
The dialogue in this movie is troll 2 levels. Both movies were directed by people whose first language was not English, and they have not been willing to compromise on a single line. The actors have been told, read it exactly as it's written, and because of this, a lot of it is unnatural, conical. We cut to the hospital. Joe and Frank are about to go and interview the guy who was in the van. The guy is almost burned alive. Yeah, he survived. He's in a hospital bed, and the cops are going to question him. But before they can get there, Joe is hit on by a nurse. Yeah, well, it looks like she's hitting on him, and then she starts saying some bizarre stuff.
Do you like what you see?
I love what I see.
Would you like to touch what you see?
Yes, I would.
Would you like to go out with me?
Yes, I would.
Would you like to f me?
Bingo.
And then says she's not interested in him because he's too small.
Well, then let's see what you've got. Doesn't interest me. Nothing there.
Nothing there?
But while this flirting's going on, and Frank, you should see his reactions. Yamashita gets his girlfriend to wheel him into the hospital, hiding in like a big trolley. Yeah, his head covered by a bucket, and he's got a samurai sword. And no one notices that they go in and they kill the guy in the hospital dead with the samurai sword. Honestly, there's no logic to this movie. It's just craziness. Later, Fujiyama and his gang are at a restaurant owned by his girlfriend. Yeah, it's a nice restaurant. And then Joe and Frank turn up. Joe, who's lived in Japan for most of his life, we're told, and is a master in all things Japanese, can barely say one Japanese name.
Are you Fujiyama?
Yes, I am.
There are no outtakes in this movie. They just keep rolling. Joe introduces himself to the gang by saying, "I'm a cop," and then there's a musical sting.
I'm a cop.
And then gives a terrible monologue, and then hits on Fujiyama's girlfriend. He ends up sleeping with her, and she ends up getting naked, because she's a lady in this movie, and if you're a lady in this movie, you're getting naked. Unless you're that nurse who negged Joe. They should all neg Joe. On this restaurant scene, there's also an incredibly cant waiter for no reason. Just like he must be a friend of the director or something. I don't know. They just wanted a comic relief, I guess. Well, he's not in the slightest bit funny.
Her mother owns the place.
Where's her father?
Bang!
Killed? Who shot him?
He.
Who?
Him.
Who's him?
Himself.
Oh, he committed suicide.
Yes.
As soon as Joe and Frank leave the restaurant, there's a big shootout in the restaurant car park. Yanashido and the gang follow them out and start shooting at them. Yanashido gets away, Frank and Joe take out most of the other guys, and then the movie continues. I mean, there's no point going through this movie beat by beat because it doesn't make sense when you watch it, so it's going to make less sense when we speak about it. That basically there's loads of shootouts. Some shootouts take place in the same scene that are obviously shot in different locations, and the bad guys and the good guys are both shooting in the same direction sometimes. The editing is a problem in this movie as well. Everything is a problem in this movie, especially that wig. If you watch this movie, don't, but if you watch this movie, you might notice that Joe's hair is long and luscious and luxurious at the start and at the end of the movie. Yeah, in certain scenes during the movie, he's wearing a cat and his hair's like an S. That's because you want to tell him. Yeah, that's because the actor who played Joe finished filming this movie, went away, got a haircut so he could take other roles. He never got them. And then the director phoned her up and said, "We need to do some reshoots. We haven't finished making this movie, mate." And Joe was like, "I've cut my hair."
You did what? You did what?
The director took him to a costume shop in Hollywood. They found the first wig they could find. It's too big, so they put a cat in it. And that's why Joe's hair looks crazy in some scenes. Now, Joe does get on with Jennifer. Yeah, Fujiyama's girlfriend. Yeah, because he keeps testing her. He wore her down. That's not the way to do it, guys. It's definitely not the way to do it, guys. But it worked for him, so she gets naked, yes. Meanwhile, his colleagues are being killed. Yamashita leads the gang to the other cops' houses. People who have worked with Joe earlier in the movie. People who have even interacted with Joe over the phone. So they go and they kill this older cop who's his friend. They go and they torture Peggy, who is in the helicopter. They try to get Frank, but Frank manages to shoot his way out of it. And then they head to get Joe. That Frank manages to contact Joe just in time. I mean, Peggy put up a good fight as well, yeah, but then they burn her with boiling fat. Also, they make reference to cutting off Frank's black gift, his penis. The bad guys get to Joe's, where he's made a cake for Jennifer. What? A dirty cake? What? They spent a day, nearly 2 days together, and he's like, "Here, I've cooked you a dirty cake while you're in the shower." He's some guy, this Joe. So Joe fights off most of the bad guys. A few of them run off. And Jenny just goes back to work. She's either fearless or really, really dumb.
She's dumb.
So they head to Fujiyama's house. Yeah, they break in. Joe just like climbs over the fence like a cool samurai guy should. Frank crawls under the fence. He could easily climb over. The Joe says to him,
Why did you come under?
I'm an undercover cop.
They take out all of Fujiyama's henchmen. Yeah, they don't all look menacing, to be honest. No, and this is one of the scenes where you see the leg, the famous leg. Frank and Joe get into the house, they meet Fujiyama, and guess who has hostage? Jennifer, because he just went straight to her workplace and got her, because she went back to work like a psychopath. Joe drops his weapon, Frank gets shot, yeah, they get straight back up because he's on a bulletproof vest. And then Frank shoots Fujiyama. Yeah, Frank, basically the sidekick, takes out the bad guy. Yeah, but I guess there's one more bad guy to contend with. Oh yeah, Yanashida. When Frank shoots Fujiyama, he delivers an awful line, which is supposed to sound so snark.
He was smart in every way, except one thing.
What's that?
With all his money and success, he's not as smart as I am.
To do what?
Put on a bulletproof vest, man.
Joe goes to find Yamashita because he knows he's the main threat because he's also a samurai. Sure he is. When you see him fighting later, you'll realise he has never seen a martial arts move. Never mind tried one. So again, there are a million armed guards. Frank and Joe take them out easily. It comes down to Frank and Joe versus Yamashita and one of his guards. Yeah, Frank takes out the guard. Yamashita and Joe decide, let's do this like samurai. They drop their guns and they each take out a sword. They have a terrible sword fight. A terrible martial arts fight. Well, I think Joe might have had some moves. Well, compared to Yamashita, yes, he's Bruce Lee. But it's a bit of swordplay, a bit of hand-to-hand, a bit more swordplay, and then ends in hand-to-hand. Yamashita gets knocked down. Yeah, he gets knocked down, and he instantly accepts defeat. He takes off his samurai sword, and kills himself. Frank wants to arrest Yamashita, but Joe says, no, this is more honourable. Let's watch a man stab himself to death slowly. So that's what they do. They just let him kill himself in front of them and bleed out slowly, painfully, regretting every second of it. And that's the end. That is Samurai Cop. I mean, that is some movie. Yes, it is. Let's not give you some quick trivia. There's not much really. I'm talking about the wig. Yeah, we spoke about that. What else? They actually made a sequel to this movie that is made in like, I don't know, 2019 or something. And it's a bit, like, it's a bit too annoying. What do you mean? It knows it's a bad movie. Or it's like Birdemic or something where it's trying to be a bad movie. Exactly. So, yeah. That's Samurai Cop. That really is a bad movie. To be honest though, it is good fun. You're not going to be bored watching it. You might be confused. You might be lost. You might be angry. You might be feeling something different with all these naked ladies. That you definitely won't be bored. That's true. Hit like, hit subscribe, watch another video. Fujiyama.